Well, hello fishing friends, and if you're new here, welcome. So in today's video I want to go over some things that I think are broken in real VR fishing. Number one, catching the epics. I've been struggling catching the epic on location 10 of Japan 1, which has really affected my ability to play Japan 2 to make videos for those epics. So I'm going to talk about that today, and I also want to mention on my last video somebody made a comment that the fish in here, not all the shadows are correct. So if you just select Japan Part 1, you see some of these shadows? He was absolutely right. These fish are not in Japan Part 1. I've gone through and caught all of the fish in Japan Part 1 for freshwater. I'm stuck on one saltwater fish, and we'll go over that here shortly. But all of these shadows, if you just have Japan Part 1 selected, these fish are actually not in Japan Part 1. So that's something. If you have only Japan Part 1 and you don't have Japan Part 2, you will not see some of these shadows here. You will not be able to catch those fish. So just thought I would go over that. Some of the other shadows that, like the pipefish was in there and the stickleback, some of these were also in Japan Part 1, but not all of them. All right, so now let's go to the location where I am struggling. So we're going to go to location number 10. Oops. I want to go to Japan Part 1. Location number 10. All right, here we are on location number 10 in Japan Part 1. The fish that I have been struggling with is this last epic right here. I've caught all the epics on Japan Part 1 except for this one. And I'm thinking that it is extremely nerfed. I mean, extremely nerfed. I have played this game, Japan Part 1, for 4 days and have not been able to catch it. So I played each time I played, it's been about 2 hours trying to catch this, and that's all I've done is solely try to catch this fish using the crawfish. It's on top, so I'm fishing on the top with the crawfish, and I'm using some of my common methods. So as you know, I do have a few go-to methods that I use. First thing I do, bring my line up to the top, and I've even tried the middle. It doesn't matter. And let me do a reset here because there's no swirls out there. First thing that I like to do is target the swirls. So I'll wait and see if we got some swirls coming up. We got one there and one there. So I'm going to target those swirls. Oops. Or go right in between them. There we go. That's a little bit better cast. Let me bring it up to where the swirl is at. It's about there. And nothing. Line doesn't turn red. Alright. I'm going to target that swirl over there. Bring it up to the swirl. And as long as you're close, it's really all you need to be. And nothing. Line does not turn red. So that is what I normally start with, is targeting those swirls. And sometimes that's all it takes. You target the swirls, bam. That's all you gotta do is just target those swirls. Or if it's a low fish, a bottom swimming fish, you just target the bubbles. This one's on top, so I target the swirls. My second go-to method, if that doesn't work, is I do just what I call fly fishing, which I just cast out. I do a little cast there, wait for a second, bring it in, cast out, wait for a second, bring it in, cast out a little bit to the right, cast a little bit closer, and I'll do this a few times, working my way across. Right, this is a little bit quicker than the next method I'm going to show you, which is my last resort method. So often, if the bubble one doesn't work, then I'll do this fly fishing method. Okay? And then if this method doesn't work, I go to my last resort. Now my last resort is I start over here. I cast all the way out. That's 300 feet. I reel in counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 250 feet. I reel in counting to 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 200 feet. And I reel in counting to 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 150 feet. And I quick retrieve it. The reason I do that, let me show you here on the fish finder. Let me bring that up to hard. So when you're using rod A, it casts out to 300 feet at full cast. When you bring it in, counting to 5, that brings you to 250. You got some fish there. You bring it in, counting to 5, that brings you to 200. You have a lot of fish right here between these two locations, okay? Bringing it in again, that brings you to 150. And then you count in 5 again, that brings you to 100. Hardly ever do you catch a fish in the 100. So I usually skip that. I just count 1, 2, 3, just to bring it through these sections. And so when you're on that area there, you'll catch the fish within this area. On this line here, you catch the fish within this area. Catch the fish within this area. So, you know, the first 300 foot mark, you hit that, you might as well just reel it in right away, because you're not going to really catch anything right at the 300 foot mark. So that's why I do that. And then once I do this here, then I move over just a little bit, cast all the way out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see nothing. And then I quick retrieve it, and I go over to the right, and I do that again. And this is my last resort method, because this method takes the longest. I mean, this takes quite a long time to do this. And as you can see, not only am I not catching the epic on the crawfish, because nothing else likes the crawfish, you don't catch anything. And doing that for 4 days straight, 2 hours a day, yeah, it gets pretty old. So maybe I'll get lucky, and on this video I'll finally catch it. So those are the methods that I've been using and have not been able to catch it. So my question to you, and I've also talked to some of my friends, and some of them that you have probably maybe seen them on Facebook, some of the other expert fishers, I should say, you know, that have been able to catch these epics. And yeah, they've agreed that the epics have been extremely nerfed. I haven't even gotten Japan Part 2 yet. I'm let's see, I think I'm level 9, because I gave up trying to catch this guy after a while. And yesterday I finally started on Japan Part 2. So I haven't even made it to the point where I can start creating videos for you guys on Japan Part 2, because I've been so stuck on Japan Part 1. And the other fish that I've caught, I've only caught one just to get it in my Fishopedia, just so I could verify those shadows. And even some of those took quite a while. So I don't think it's just this one epic that's nerfed. I think they've nerfed all the epics and made them even harder to catch than they were before. So I know that they need to make it to where it's like real fishing. But I guess this could be like real fishing. You could sit out there for 2 hours and not catch a thing, which is where I'm at right now. So my question to you is, have you been able to catch it? If so, what methods did you use? Please let me know down in the comments if you've been able to catch it, and if so, what methods you've been able to do, or if you're seeing the same thing. Have you noticed that they've nerfed the epics so hard that you haven't been able to catch them at all? Got a little shadow right there. Let's see. Little swirl. Nope. Nothing. Alright, anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.